Rematch of the AFC Championship game, Patriots and Jaguars. And going back to week one, for all the talk of the star power in New York, Beckham, Barkley, Manning, the stars of their week one matchup right off the Jaguars roster. How about Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson, Miles Jack, letting everyone know Jacksonville is back for an encore this year. And now welcoming a week one winner in Tom Brady and the Patriots down to Duval County. Typical Brady performance in week one, 78th career 3-touchdown pass game, and Brady now on a defense that pushed them to the brink back in January.
It's pretty tough. You know, they were a great team last year and gave us everything we could handle into the championship game. And, you know, they're at it again this year. They got the same players, similar scheme. It's as good as any defense we'll face all year. They got an incredible rush, great linebackers, great secondary. It's going to be very, very challenging, tough environment, and we'll see what we made up.
All right, Coach, let's jump right into the tape here. We talked about it in week one, stopping Gronk, a big, if not the biggest priority of any defense. And if you look at the Patriots in week one and how the Texans tried to stop him, well, tight coverage, he still scored a touchdown. He beat coverage downfield, and even when the Texans had him properly covered, he still presented problems.
Sure he does. The Gronk effect was in full effect in week one because just as you said, Tom Brady's at a master. When a team configures itself to stop Gronkowski, there are options that present themselves, much like the touchdown to James White that we saw against the Texans. Here you're going to see Gronk is at the bottom of the screen in a trips alignment. Now he's going to run a simple shallow cross underneath the defense. I want you to watch how the defense, all eyes are on Gronkowski, both their eyes and their drops. This corner at the bottom of the field is looking at Gronkowski, losing ground because of the tight end route, and not even taking into effect that White has sneaked out into the flat, and this is a quick touchdown for the Patriots. Let's look at last year in the championship game, the Gronk effect. Gronk's at the bottom, into the boundary on a 3-by-2 formation, and the safety goes to the two-man side in the closed side of the field. So what does Brady do? He runs a wheel shoot up the sideline. There's no way the free safety can get over the top and help. So Tom Brady knows I've got options if you want to take away Ron Gronkowski. The key thing is I think Jacksonville has the ability to double Gronkowski, and I think they match up pretty good with everybody else. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, and sometimes even when Gronk is covered, Tom Brady can still make a big throw. So maybe it's not, hey, how do we stop Gronk and everybody else? How do we get to Tom Brady? And I think that's what a lot of defenses are trying to do. Well, look, we talk about the Patriots and their game plans week to week and how they like to change them. They're not going to have to change anything because they're going from one team that has guys that get after the quarterback to another with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have what we call game wreckers.
Yeah, they do.
Well, the Patriots do a great job when they have game wreckers. And here's what they do. They give them things to think about, and they try to slow them down so they can't just think about rushing the quarterback. What do I mean by that? Well, here's Jadeveon Clowney right here. And I want you to watch what they do right here with the tight end Dwayne Allen. All right, he fakes like he's going to crack him like it's a toss coming, gets Jadeveon Clowney thinking outside, and really what they're doing is they're pulling their right guard, Shaq Mason, who's going to come in here and get him on a big block. This is called 35 Tango.
Tango!
And they're just trying to give Jadeveon Clowney something to think about. This is the first play of the game. They don't want him teeing off on their quarterback. And it's not just Jadeveon Clowney. It was J.J. Watt. Here they are, both on the same side. And early on in the game, the Patriots clearly wanted to try to frustrate Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt. This is the jet sweep. You're going to see Cordell Patterson coming across right here. I want you to watch James Devlin on Clowney. All right, this is by design. This is a cut block right here. He gets him down on the ground. J.J. Watt doesn't even know who has the football. They're running by him with speed, giving pass rushers something else to think about. It's what they're going to do against Jacksonville, the same exact thing. Now, that was run plays, Rhett. Now, here's the pass play. How do you help out your offensive line? Well, you bring in your fullback. You're going to chip right here on your way out. You got Gronk right here. He's going to chip to Sam. And that's going to help the tackle hang right here on J.J. Watt to help his guard. Watch as it unfolds, and watch what it does to the pocket right here. Tom Brady on a play action pass. Nobody even near him as he completes this pass. That's how you game plan to try to stop game wreckers. And I think the Patriots do a great job of it this week. Hey, it's Calais Campbell. It's Yannick Ngakoue. It's Dante Fowler coming off suspension. So they're going to be able to use some of these same plays to slow those guys down.
Yeah, Shaun, I'm going to be interested to see in the championship game, remember that Jacksonville ran the ball very well. Blake Bortles made some plays. Well, they may be without Leonard Fournette. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Blake Bortles. Now, last year, when 3 games when they didn't have Leonard Fournette, Blake Bortles was brilliant. He threw for better than 300 yards. He had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So if this falls clearly on Blake Bortles' shoulders, it's going to be interesting to see if he can step up and have that same kind of productivity like he did against those other teams.
Well, it's a good point there by Coach. And part of what I think you were showing there, Shaun, is that Tom Brady can score points against a pretty darn good defense, right? So this Jags offense is going to have to keep pace. And with Leonard Fournette not practicing on Wednesday with the hamstring, what do they need from Bortles?
Well, this roster is built with depth, and that's going to lead me right to T.J. Yeldon. And I want you to just look at T.J. Yeldon right here on this run play. Watch this, the way he ekes through this, all right? They're going to wad this whole thing up right here. There's not a lot of room right here, Rhett. But watch T.J. Yeldon just sneak through this skinny little hole. Landon Collins, the safety. Look, he's coming off the edge right here. But T.J. Yeldon is just going to find his way to fit right through there and sneak through. So he's got great vision. He's great out of the backfield. And they've got their secret weapon. I call him the Hollow Man because nobody sees Blake Bortles. All right, this is just a read option. And I want you to watch his eyes right here. All right, Blake Bortles, this is all he's looking at right here is this defensive end. What is he doing? Is he rushing up the field or is he crashing down? That's going to determine whether or not he keeps this ball. And look at this. Blake Bortles, yeah. Landon Collins, it's too late, buddy. Blake Bortles is running right by you. The quarterback keeper, this play went for 41 yards. So even if it's not Leonard Fournette, T.J. Yeldon can handle the load. And Blake Bortles has proven that it's not just about the arm. He's extremely athletic. He's averaging 6.4 yards a carry. And I think, look, Blake Bortles was one throw away from being in the Super Bowl. He may have to use his legs. And they're going to have one of these kind of little gadget plays, we like to call them, that could flip this game around.
Yeah, Coach touched on it. This offense and Blake Bortles actually better in the 3 games without Fournette last year, averaging
That's crazy.
Over than 30 points a game. Talk about the right play call here. How about the last time the Bengals and Ravens squared off? Game ended on this 4th down completion to Tyler Boyd from Andy Dalton, leading to a score, sending the Ravens home for the offseason. A touchdown I'm sure the Ravens have not forgotten. As for this year's Bengals squad, backup safety Clayton Fedulum was called into duty due to an ejection by to safety Shaun Williams. He actually made the play of his career here, forcing a fumble late, scooping and scoring from 83 yards out to seal the Week 1 win. And for a closer look at Thursday Night Football between the Ravens and Bengals, let's go inside the film room with Shaun and Willie McGinest.
Thanks, Rhett. Willie, we're inside the film room, and we've got a nice AFC North matchup here. The Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. You know this game's going to come down to a one-score game. They're always close. But when you're looking at the film of the Ravens, what are you seeing from them defensively, and how are they confusing quarterbacks?
I think they're consistent of what they've always done, Shaun. Bring pressure, confuse young quarterbacks, and make the offensive line get a little confused on protection. So when you watch some of these exotic blitz of Don Martindale's defense, Dean Pease is gone. Right off the top, you're going to see 8 guys in the box.
You're
going to see 3 guys that look like they're coming, but they're actually dropping. And then you're going to see 2 guys that are off the ball that are rushing. Watch the safety, the high safety rotate. Weddle's going to drop back. Right now, as a young quarterback, the snapshot you saw before snap is not what you see now.
Everything's changed.
Everything's changed, and they allowed him to rush. Look at this play here, Shaun. There's 7 guys in the box right now. You got Mosley. He's mugging the A-gap. You got Weddle on the outside, usual suspects. And you got Suggs on the outside that's just going to go up the field. He's going to go up the field. Now, the center, he's still locked in on Mosley. He's dropping out. You got 2 rips by the defensive end and the safety. They're going inside. Guess what? Nobody blocks Weddle. When you have this type of rush, you got one more guy than you can block. The ball has to come out quick. The defensive back, of course, he's squatting on the route. The quarterback decides he doesn't want to take the sack. He's just going to throw the ball right into an interception.
When you get pressure like that on a quarterback, good things happen for the defense. We saw a lot of that against Buffalo last week. And I think for the Bengals and for Andy Dalton, he's a veteran quarterback.
He is a veteran.
You're not going to fool him too much, but they're still going to try. Now, they're playing at home, so we would always combat that with trying to go with the quick count or trying to hit him with the hard count and get them to show their hand. But when I look at the Bengals, Willie, I see an offense under Bill Lazor that is kind of morphing. Look, A.J. Green is still the go-to guy.
He is.
It's his offense. But I'm seeing them mix in
other players.
A little Joe.
Yeah, why
a little
not?
Joe mix in. And
I got you. I got you. I picked up on that.
I'm laying down the track right now, Steel Brim. I think when you look at what you do against a defense that wants to show you multiple fronts, you get him in space. And look at Joe Mixon on the screen right here. Now, he's got great vision right here, does a great job of setting up these blocks. You can see he kind of waits till the last minute and then slices upfield just at the right time.
Got to be patient.
He's got great patience. It's almost like Le'Veon Bell, but he's also got this. Now, as offensive linemen, what we want to do is seal up the line of scrimmage right there, muddle everything up, get our running back one-on-one with a safety. Joe Mixon's got the speed to run by guys like that.
And when you go into the game plan, you know that guy's going to have to beat one guy.
Yeah, you're always going to have to beat the unblocked defender. Now, here's where the patience a la Le'Veon Bell and the vision come into mind. This is a handback play. Look at him funneling his way and siphoning through all that traffic. And you see him kind of finishing that run right there with a low shoulder.
Yeah.
Getting some physical contact and getting dirty a little bit. I like what Joe Mixon's bringing to this offense. And I kind of see him starting to take some touches. Now, he's not taking away from A.J. Green, but he's starting to kind of build a little momentum here. And he's kind of becoming the focal point of this offense. And kind of get him out of some of that safety rotation, hit him with some of those big runs.
Big runs, quick plays, screens, certain plays that we saw. Those are the type of plays that slow down an aggressive defense.
We both played in that division. We know that usually the defenses win in that division. Can't wait to watch this game.
Kirk Cousins delivering in his debut with the Vikings, especially on this perfectly placed TD pass to Stephon Diggs. As you can really see through this week's True View video, watch him just drop it right on the money. And Cousins to Diggs, that'll go down as his first touchdown pass as a Minnesota Viking. But I want to talk about this defense, Coach, as they get set to take on the Green Bay Packers. This Minnesota Vikings pass defense has been top 6 in the league since Mike Zimmer has come aboard. And I know Harrison Smith is a big part of that, but that's not the only place he makes an impact, right?
No, guys, I've been lucky in my career. I've had some pretty good safeties, Ed Reed and Rod Woodson. So when I tell you that Harrison Smith is the best safety in the National Football League, I kind of know what I'm talking about. And it's versatility. It reminds me a little bit of Ed Reed, both in the box and the middle of the field. Here you're going to see come up, it's like a linebacker. He comes up, inserts himself into the front 7 in a 3-wide formation. I want you to watch what he does here. He's a pulling guard. He's like a linebacker. He takes on the pulling guard. Now, he ends up getting crunched a little bit, but he stays active, and he ends up getting a loss of a play. Now, same way, he's coming out of this second level like a linebacker. When he rushes now, he is an impact player. He's going to come as a free rusher here. The running back doesn't know what to do, whether inside or out, and obviously gets the sack here. And oh, by the way, yeah, he is a safety. They like to play a lot of cover too. So he's on the backside here. You're going to see as he comes back, he sees with Garoppolo, nothing really threatens him. As we say, he has no works. Now, this is only a 4-man rush, so he's free to go where he wants to. He sees where the route combination's going. He's got no work in his area. He undercuts the route and gets an interception. So Harrison Smith, whoever plays quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, better know where 22 is because he's going to impact virtually every play.
Yeah, Coach, that's the biggest question right there because Harrison Smith, I mean, he wants to play the young guy, and defenses look differently when Aaron Rodgers is playing quarterback. And I think the biggest aspect in this game is going to be, can the Green Bay Packers get a 6-man box? And if they can they run the football against that? Now, Harrison Smith's going to dictate a lot of that, and he does a great job coming downhill. But when you look at what the Green Bay Packers did once Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So here's Aaron Rodgers against the Bears, all right? And this is what I'm talking about. This is a 5-man box. They've got him spread out. Look at all this room. Heck yeah, they're going to run the football. And look, Jamal Williams did a great job. This is an 11-yard run. This was early in the game. Now Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Kaiser comes in the game.
There he is.
Different. All right, it's a 6-man box, but look at how close the safety is now. All right, it's a little bit of different perspective here. Now, the Green Bay is going to run the football here, and they still had a chance for a big crease right there, even with the safety creeping in. But that's what they're going to be up against with the Minnesota Vikings, especially if AR is limited. Now, here's the biggest difference. AR is going to be in shotgun. Right? Rodgers did not go under center in this entire second half because he can't. He's struggling to hand this ball off in the pistol formation. So this, to me, is going to be the biggest factor for the Green Bay Packers. Can they run the ball against that 6-man box, keep that safety out of there? And really, for Aaron Rodgers, he might be in shotgun the entire time. So it might be a lot of shotgun runs, a lot of pistol formations, because I've sprained and torn both MCLs, Rhett, for a quarterback to go under center and pivot and turn and race back there and hand the ball off. he's going to struggle with that. And he didn't practice today at all. And I think when you look at that offense, could totally change the way they have to run the football.
Yeah, preseason Mike McCarthy said Jamal Williams is poised to have a big year. Hasn't happened yet in week one, partly because they were playing from behind.
But no better time than now. The Los Angeles Rams are this week's winner. They're built for tough, and I tell you, they did a great job against the Oakland Raiders. How about my man Whitworth, Saffold, Sullivan, Blythe, and Havenstein? Just 2 pressures in the entire game, right? Goff, his jersey, they didn't even have to wash it. And Gurley had his 1,300-yard game. Those guys did a great job up front. Roger Saffold on his way to another Pro Bowl.
Love it.
All right, now looking forward to this week, Rhett. An offensive line that I'm looking forward to watching is Seattle Seahawks. How does this offensive line bounce back? Right tackle Jermaine Ifedi had a rough day against Von Miller, and a lot of people have had rough days. But coming into this season, everybody was questioning what's this offensive line going to look like. You saw with the sack there. Now they try to chip with Jimmy Graham to give him a little help, and he still falls into a sack. Von Miller, listen, he had the trifecta. He had 3 sacks, and I think now they're going against the Chicago Bears. They got to play Monday night. They got Khalil Mack. So they're going to have to do a good job of the run game. And I'm watching the Seahawks offensive line. You guys better protect Russell Wilson. This is getting ridiculous.
A couple more games for us to get to here on Playbook. Bring Coach Billick back in. Let's talk Chiefs and Steelers. Patrick Mahomes, a perfect passer rating when targeting Tyreek Hill. Certainly helps when you can just have the little 2-yard shovel pass there, Coach. But, boy, man, that is a tough matchup to stop.
It is. He's the most exciting player in the league right now. We know he can do the things down the field, but they're always going to do something a little different to be able just to kind of hand the ball off. Here you're going to see in a 2-by-2 set, they're going to motion Tyreek Hill in. Now, this is actually a pass. It's a half jet sweep, half shuffle pass. Look at the way the linebackers have to take that step and pause. Well, if you're a step behind, heck, if you're a step ahead, you can't catch this guy. It's that little bit of hesitation when they want to give the ball either a handoff or a shuffle pass to Tyreek Hill. Now, they do the same thing here. They condense the formation so you don't have to motion. Watch Tyreek Hill here. Same kind of action. He's going to get this little shuffle. Watch what the linebackers do. That hesitation, that first step, they have to react to the possible handoff. Now you're dead. There's no way you're going to catch Tyreek Hill when he has a step on you. So they're going to do something in every game to put the ball directly in his hands, either the shuffle, the jet sweep, or the quick screens outside that really challenges the defense.
Yeah, no question about it. And also another game we want to look at here, Panthers and Falcons from Atlanta here in week 2. Definitely some guys that are going to be missing in action here, starting with the Falcons defense. Keanu Neal now on IR.
Yeah, Atlanta Falcons are 0-1, but it might feel like 0-3 because Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, losing both those guys. And here you see.
Yeah, for the Panthers as well.
For Panthers, they lost Olsen and Darrell Williams. Both those guys got hurt. So a lot of players missing from this game. When you look at the loss of Keanu Neal, it's a big factor because he's a safety by roster and by jersey number, but he's really a linebacker. And I thought against Carolina, he was kind of Weapon X, and he did a great job. This right here, the zone read, just kind of filtering through all the traffic right there, making a big stop. But here's what he brings to Atlanta's defense. All right, 8 forced fumbles in the last 2 years. This is the things that kind of goes above the X and O's, and watch him rip this ball out right here. This is what he's bringing to Atlanta, and this is what they're losing right now. So Carolina, in Week 9 last year, they rushed for 201 yards, and that was with Keanu Neal. I can't imagine how much tougher it's going to be for them without Keanu Neal. And they're also losing Deion Jones. Here you see another Keanu Neal play. He's down at the line of scrimmage, and he's just going to punch this ball out right there. There it is, ball's on the ground. Deion Jones, in addition to Keanu Neal, Deion Jones has 7 interceptions. So between the two of them, 15 interceptions in the last 2 years. That led the league with safeties and linebackers. They're missing a lot of big playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. They struggle on offense to get in the red zone. They're going to have their hands full trying to stop Cam Newton in this Carolina Panthers offense.
Arguably, their 2 most impactful defenders right there, Keanu Neal and Deion Jones. I mean, just looking at week 1 alone.
I don't know why you'd argue.
Deion Jones, the rushing yards per play went up over 5 yards. Just plays in general average over 5 yards they were giving up when Keanu Neal was off the field.